Have you ever wondered why some barbers stay booked throughout the whole week while others have amazing talent, but they spend half of the day waiting for customers? And no, it's not always because one barber cuts better. Sometimes it's because one barber understands people better. You see, in today's economy, your biggest competitor is not that barber down the street. It's actually your client's monthly budget. And I say that because people are choosing between gas, groceries, rent, child care, car payments, and they're asking themselves, am I going to be able to afford a haircut? And as barbers, we have a choice. We can price ourselves outside of our market, or we can build a business that people can afford to support for years. So today we're going to talk about something that all barbers have to wrestle with at one time or another, and that's how much should I charge? Now, before I have any barber that's listening to this start typing, know your worth, let me just say this, I agree. You have to know your worth in order to elevate in this game, but there's also something else that you need to know, and that's your market. These are two completely different things. I want you to think about your average client. He or she is working 40 to 50 hours a week. Bills are increasing, groceries are higher, the insurances keep going up, gas isn't getting any cheaper. Now, I want you to imagine that same person, they had 3 sons. That's 4 haircuts every 2 weeks. And if every cut costs $60, that's almost $500 a month just on haircuts. And the truth is, most families simply can't keep up with that. And what happens because of that? Well, instead of coming 2 weeks, now they move it to once a month. Then instead of bringing all 3 kids, they maybe bring 1. And eventually, they look for a new barber because they just can't afford it. So what we must understand is that they're not leaving you because you're not a talented barber. They are leaving you just because you're no longer affordable. So we must not confuse value with price, because one of the biggest mistakes that new barbers are making is that they're believing higher prices automatically equal higher value. That's not true. You see, value is earned, prices are chosen. A customer doesn't mind paying a $40 or $50 haircut if they walk away feeling like they got a $60 service. But I can tell you this for sure, a client will hate paying $60 and only feel like they got $30 worth of value. For example, not greeting them when they come in, not engaging in small talk, playing any type of music and not being aware of your surroundings, and just not giving good customer service. That's why your goal shouldn't be to become the most expensive barber. Your goal should be the best value in your city. Affordable pricing is what creates consistency. When clients know that they can comfortably afford your services, they're not going to hesitate to book you. Instead of them saying, shit, I just have to wait another week, they're going to say, I'm going to go ahead and schedule it. And that's how successful barbers build packed appointment booking, because it's not from one expensive haircut. It's from 100 repeated visits. So let's do the simple math. Imagine one client comes every 2 weeks for 5 years. Now, I want you to imagine that client referring his wife, his cousin, his brother, his co-worker, his son. You see, one affordable haircut could eventually generate thousands of dollars. That's why you never underestimate keeping the value of one happy client. Because every person sitting in that chair, it represents a relationship, not just a transaction. Now, sometimes barbers raise their prices because they see somebody famous charging. What we have to understand, everybody is not a 360 G's. You can't think, oh, he's charging 80, so I'm gonna charge 80. The problem is, you don't have the same reputation that guy has. You don't have his clientele, you don't have his city, and you don't have the demand he supplies. So don't build your business trying to impress other barbers. Build your business trying to serve the community. Now, here's something that most people don't even think about. There's several ways to increase your income without having to increase your prices and haircuts. You can sell products for the beard, you can offer memberships, you can sell shampoo at the retail price, you can sell wave grease, hair grease, pomades, you can offer hot towel upgrades, provide mobile cuts, you can even teach barber classes or even create content for YouTube. Sometimes the answer isn't just charging more. Sometimes the answer is just servicing a little bit better. Now, let me be clear. I am not saying that barbers should stay cheap forever. If your skills improve, if your demand increases, if your reputation grows, and if your schedule stays booked, then absolutely consider raising your prices. but earn it. Let your client say, I expected him to raise those prices, not, damn, what changed? And years from now, people probably won't even remember how much a haircut cost, but they will remember how you greeted them with a smile, how you respected their time, how you listened to them, how you made them laugh, how you gave them confidence, how you treated their kids like family. And that's what's going to create the loyalty. And if you're a barber that's a believer in Christ, there's also a principle that we should always remember. Look at Proverbs 22:1. It says, a good name is to be chosen rather than great riches. You see, your reputation is worth way more than squeezing every possible dollar out of one haircut. Because when people know you're honest, when they know you're fair, when they know you're professional, reliable, the word's going to spread, period. Think about it. People don't know how talented you are until they sit in your chair. And people don't know who you are until you start speaking. So guess what? Your character is going to market itself. Talent is going to reel them in. Character is going to keep them coming. So what I want you to do is start asking, how much value can I provide? Because if your value increases, guess what? The money follows. Because clients don't mind paying. What they mind is overpaying. So please be that barber that people would gladly recommend, because they know that everybody who sits in that chair is going to get an outstanding service at a fair price. Because a barber who chases money may get a quick profit, but a barber who chases relationship, that person's going to get a long-lasting business. So please be the barber who people can trust, who people can recommend their family to, and who can understand the economic times and be able to work with it. Not saying shorten yourself, but go ahead, start being more social. Because as a barber, you're an entrepreneur. And under an entrepreneur's job listing is you creating your own revenue by giving a product that the customer needs and giving it to them in the best way, and keep your supply in demand. As always, I hope this message helped at least one barber or entrepreneur. I'll be back at you again tomorrow with another one. Until then, I need you to keep your head on a swivel, love yourself, and only help who wants to be helped. I'm out.